All right, let me ask you something. What if I told you that aiming for 10 times your current results is actually easier than just trying to double them? Sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, that is the core idea behind the book 10x is easier than 2x from Dr. Benjamin Hardy and the legendary Dan Sullivan. So today, we're going to break down this incredible framework. It's built for anyone, entrepreneurs, professionals, who's tired of small incremental gains and is ready for a real breakthrough.
This quote really is the key to everything we're about to talk about. Think about it. The way you think, the habits you've built, the skills that made you successful right now, they're not the same things that will get you to that next massive level. In fact, they can actually hold you back. To really grow, you've got to be willing to let go of what feels comfortable and familiar.
You know, from the time we're kids, we're basically taught one thing. If you want more, you have to do more. Work longer hours, take on more projects, add more to your plate. It's this belief that effort equals results in a straight line. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real secret to massive growth isn't about adding more, but, well, about doing less?
Okay, so before we can get to the 10x path, we have to talk about the trap that so many of us fall into. The book calls it the 2x growth trap. This is that feeling of working harder and harder just to see smaller and smaller improvements. Sound familiar? It's the fast lane to burnout, and it's where most people get stuck. So this 2x path is just jam-packed. Everyone is on it, fighting for the same small slice of the pie. It's a race to see who can work the longest hours, who can add the most to their to-do list, but all that effort just gets you tiny gains. You end up being busy, sure, but not truly effective. You're just another person in the crowd working yourself to the bone.
But what if there's another way? This is where the 10x paradox comes in, and it's a total game changer. The big idea here is that aiming for a goal that is ridiculously huge, 10 times bigger, isn't 10 times harder. Nope. The authors argue it's actually easier. Why? Because a goal that big forces you to completely change your thinking and your strategy.
Let's break this down. Look at the 2x mindset, the trap. It's all about adding, doing more of what you're already doing, which means more effort, more competition, and slow, predictable growth. Now, look at the 10x mindset. It's the complete opposite. It's subtractive. It's about doing less but better. It requires intense focus, sure, but the path is wide open with almost no competition. And the results? They're not just a little better, they are transformational.
So how do you actually do this? Where do you start? Well, the very first step is maybe the hardest. It's about letting go. Specifically, letting go of the 80% of things that aren't getting you real results. We're not just talking about tweaking your schedule, we're talking about being absolutely ruthless.
Look at it this way. That huge 10x goal makes most of what you're doing right now totally irrelevant. This chart shows it perfectly. You have to identify that 80%, the low-value tasks, the distractions, the meetings that go nowhere, and just eliminate them. All that time, energy, and focus you get back, you pour it all into that critical 20%, what the book calls your unique ability. That's where the magic happens.
Let's be really clear on this because it's so important. 10x is not about working 10 times harder. No way. It's about finding those very few things, maybe just one or two, that will give you 10 times the results. It's a shift from being a workhorse to being a strategic thinker. It's all about focus, not effort.
And that discipline of cutting out the noise leads us right into the next big idea, which is all about choosing quality over quantity.
I love this quote from The Magic of Thinking Big because it nails the point perfectly. Most people are fighting tooth and nail for the small, realistic prizes. The second-class street is packed, but the biggest opportunities, the first-class avenue, they're surprisingly empty. Why? Because most people just don't dare to aim that high. And this chart just drives that point home. Look at the competition for the smaller goals. It's through the roof. But as the size of the prize gets bigger, the competition just falls off a cliff. So going for 10x isn't just about being ambitious. It's a smart strategy. You're literally moving to a place where fewer people are competing, and the only thing you really need to get in is the courage to think bigger.
So what's the point of all this? What's the real payoff for thinking this way? It's not just about more money or a bigger title. According to the authors, the real prize is unlocking what they call the 4 freedoms. And here they are. First, freedom of time. You get this by cutting out that 80% of junk and owning your schedule. Second, freedom of money, which naturally follows when you're creating 10x more value. Third, freedom of relationship, which means you get to choose to be around people who lift you up and energize you. And finally, the big one, freedom of purpose. This is about doing the work you feel like you were born to do. This is the real definition of success.
All right, let's bring this all together. As you can probably see by now, this isn't just about changing what you do, it's about changing who you are.
This quote says it all. You can't achieve a 10x goal as the person you are today. It's just not possible. The journey of going after that huge goal is what transforms you into the person who can actually achieve it. You have to literally become a different version of yourself.
So I want to leave you with this one final question. Just for a minute, forget about how you would do it. Forget all the obstacles. If you just knew it was possible, what would your 10x future look like? What would you be doing? Get crystal clear on that vision because that is the absolute first step you have to take. Subscribe to the Book Breakdown for more powerful book summaries that can change the way you think.